The transformation of Cal football continued Saturday on a picturesque day in Berkeley. It's nothing as beautiful as sunshine emerging from the clouds, nor could you find solace in a scoreboard that showed a 30-20 defeat. But students and alumni will assure you it's there. A national television audience had to be reasonably impressed as well. As the fourth quarter began at Memorial Stadium, the Bears and fifth-ranked USC were locked in a 13-13 tie. The explosive Trojans hadn't executed a single play of 20-plus yards. If any team had an edge in the trenches, on both sides of the ball, it was coach Justin Wilcox's spiritually renewed Bears. As discouraging as those final minutes may have been, the damage could be minimal. When the season started, Cal figured to win 3 or 4 games, at best. It looked like a full season's worth of dull, janitorial cleanup from last year's mess. Now 3-1, the Bears have a reasonable shot at the 6 wins required for a bowl game appearance. That will be the goal for Wilcox and his players from here on out, and as difficult as things look on the immediate horizon, at Oregon, at Washington, then at home against Washington State over the next 3 weeks, it is definitely attainable. Never discount a team that plays smart and aggressively, and that was USC's obstacle en route to keeping its unbeaten record intact. The thing that just jumps off the page, I told Justin beforehand, and it held true in the game, is that they're really becoming a physically tough football team, USC coach Clay Helton said. You can see the team's developing an identity. Justin's got his kids playing extremely hard, and they gave us a major challenge today. A matter of inches turned this game in USC's favor, dispatching a competitive edge the Bears could not regain. With the Trojans leading 16-13 in the early stages of the fourth quarter and Cal backed up to its own 9-yard line, quarterback Ross Bowers was stripped of the football by USC nose tackle Josh Fadu as Bowers dropped back to pass. It was a fumble, the Trojans recovered, and Stephen Carr's 2-yard score made it 23-13. What Cal doesn't have, and it might take a while, is a consistently potent offense to overcome such deficits against Pac-12 competition. Wilcox took risks at every opportunity, cashing in 4 times on fourth down plays when punts just didn't seem acceptable. But the absence of top wide receiver Demetrius Robertson, undisclosed injury, and primary running back Trey Watson, out for the season, was noticeable, and it was a day that hurts right now for Bowers, who passed for 303 yards but surrendered 4 interceptions. It should be noted that a couple of key Trojans, injured last weekend against Texas, did not make the trip. Running back Ronald Jones, who racked up 322 yards and 5 touchdowns over the first 3 weeks, and Stephen Mitchell, the team's second leading receiver. The Trojans look a bit more vulnerable than their lofty ranking suggests, but for anyone familiar with USC history, it's a given that more super athletes will step right in. The Trojan who needs no introduction, quarterback Sam Darnold, was rendered somewhat ordinary this day. He never connected on the deep ball, he threw for just 223 yards, and his longest completion was 19 yards. My freshman year, when I was redshirting, I went up against Coach Wilcox every day when he was USC's defensive coordinator, and I faced those troubles, Darnold said. Cal had great pursuit today with the defensive backs and the linebackers, and I definitely felt the pressure. This was the Joe Roth Memorial game, and the Bears took the field in uniforms identical to Roth's from the mid-1970s when he handed the ball off to Chuck Muncie, threw on-target passes to Steve Rivera and Wesley Walker, and engineered one of the most powerful offenses in the country. It was a wonderful touch of throwback mentality, and the Bears would be wise to keep these uniforms in play. They look terrific, in high contrast to some of the horrid ensembles being unveiled around the country. The Bears' style appears to be lifted from some other time, as well. All things considered, it leaves a pleasant aftertaste.